I'm going to start recording straight away, guys. I'm recording this.
Yes.
I'm recording this. This is going to be on my Facebook Live, Delvison Coaching. Lily, are you watching me on Facebook and Zoom?
No, just Zoom.
Okay, I can see your mom's name come up on Facebook, so that's okay. All right then. Wow, cool. So, Lenita, can you hear me?
I sure can, Dale. I'm here.
There you go. I told you she was Australian, everybody. See? I told you. You can tell by that accent. And I'm going to restrain. I went to Australia for a year, and I love the accent so much. And I was going to mimic you, but I'm going to resist and not do that. So if I do go there, I'm not being rude. It's just that I just like it so much. Okay?
Oh, we try to mimic you guys too, and I can never do the English accent. I try, but I fail, so it's okay.
Well, these kids know that I'm absolutely amazing at the Australian accent, but I don't like to show off.
Oh, now I'm curious, Dale. You have to do it.
Oh, guys, what do you reckon? Should I do it? Okay, guys. So today we've got Lenita all the way from Australia. I don't know where she's from. Sydney, is that right? Sydney? Is this a good accent?
That's right. Yeah.
I feel like a bit of a flaming galah over here, but you know that was a bit kind of, you know how it is. So I want to go back to England now because I can't sustain this. I just can't. Okay. Hey, I'm English again.
Oh, that was funny.
The kids have got their pens and paper ready, I hope so, everybody, because this is going to be really important to creating that nice little entrepreneurial mindset. 5 steps. I'm so looking forward to it. Lenita, you are from Australia, Sydney, and you have been working with kids for goodness knows how long. And one of your passions, I would say, is to turn them into mini entrepreneurs, which I think is absolutely invaluable because I like to help them find their passion and purpose and their why and their reason. When they do that, I think they don't work a day in their life. You know, I think it's awesome. But I haven't taught them or told them about how to make money and how to use the internet. Okay, so if I can throw this over to you, Lenita, and you just you know you run with it. Go, girl.
Thanks, Dale. I appreciate it. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys today because first and foremost, I'm a fan of Dale. So you guys are so lucky you get to hang out with him every single day. But secondly, I've always wanted to build a business, but in the beginning, I had no clue where to start. And I started when I was in my 20s. So I kind of wish I started when I was a kid because the earlier you start this, the more advantage you're going to have in life. And to be honest, not everyone, you know, has all the answers. Not every adult has all the answers. Sometimes we need to start early on in our life so we can actually be ahead of the adults. So what I'm going to take you through today is really cool lessons that I've learned as a business leader. And then basically we'll get some insight. And of course, at the end, as you said, Dale, you guys can pick my brain and ask me some questions. But just a little background info with me. I became a high school teacher. That's how I kind of began my career. But about 5 years ago, I didn't want to just be in a school every day. I wanted to do a little bit more with myself and travel the world and make good money online, etc. So I launched my own business called the Wellbeing Warrior Project. And I basically have an online business. I coach teenagers. I speak in schools, etc. But majority of the time, I've learned how to make money through Facebook and Instagram. So this is something that I can kind of help you guys as well, you know, in terms of what type of business you want to build. So number one, we're going to get straight into it. Number one, I want you to write down for me the first step to really transform into like a mini entrepreneur is to really start dreaming as big as you can. So number one, I want you to write down the dream. This is like that light bulb moment that you have. This is like that idea that's in your head at the moment that's floating around in your head. I want you to now start writing it down on paper with no hesitations whatsoever. So think about what's that product or what's that service that you want to kind of deliver for people, or maybe that's that experience that you want to kind of create. But firstly, where do we start with this? And before you build anything or before you build a fancy business, there are certain key questions I want you to ask yourself before you start any business. Okay, so first question, what do I actually love doing? That's the first question that I want you to ask yourself. What do I love doing? What do I enjoy doing? The second one is, what am I good at? Okay. What am I really, really good at too? Because you might really love something, but sometimes it might not be, it might be an interest, but maybe it's not necessarily a talent. So think about number 2, what are you good at as well? Number 3 is how can I help other people with this gift that I have, or with this talent that I have? Is there a need for what I want to give people? Then number 4 is how can I make money from this? I want you to ask yourself, can I actually make money from this? Because I don't want you to just hang out and deliver your hobby and your interests to people. That's cool, that's fun. But we need to think about, can I actually make money from this? Because it's a business, not just a hobby. Are we cool so far? Give me a thumbs up if we're all good. Yep, sweet. Okay, so I'm going to recap. Number 1, what do I love? So this is the big dream right now. What do I love doing? What do I enjoy mostly doing? What am I good at? How can I help other people with this? Is there a need for what I want to do? And importantly, because we're talking business here, can I make money from this? Cool? So that's number 1, the big dream. Now with this, guys, I don't want you to hesitate. Anything that comes to your mind, even if you feel like it's a bit uncomfortable or it's a bit silly, or maybe people think it's not a good idea, that's okay. I don't really mind about that. What I want you to do is start thinking about, just dreaming big for now. And then we'll come and simplify it a little bit more later. Can we move on to number 2? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if we want to move to number 2. Yep. All right. Awesome. Number 2 is the guinea pig. Write this down. The guinea pig. We need to now find people that we can test this product or this experience or this service with. So anything that you want to start doing for your business, we need to now find people who can be our customers or people who would like to actually invest or pay for this. Sweet. Liam, my brother, well, that's perfect start. For people in your family, that's even better. So the questions that we need to ask ourselves now for these guinea pigs is, who will this be for? What's the type of person that you want to kind of start thinking of to create this product or this experience for? And will they actually be interested? So you need to now think about their interests or their needs or their requests. Will they actually pay for this? Because we know, guys, like if someone gives us a free pair of shoes, that's cool. Like it's a cool pair of shoes. But when we pay for something from our own pocket, we're going to cherish those shoes even more because we personally paid for it. Does that make sense? Are we cool? Okay. So the guinea pig is really important. We need to find maybe 1 or 2 people in the beginning that we can test this on and see if they would actually be interested. So we need to ask people. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask them if they will want to pay for it as well. All right. Can we move on to number 3? Yes? Give me a thumbs up if we can move to number 3. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Dale. Then number 3 is the mentor. I want you to write this down, the mentor. So this is someone that you need to look towards or, get advice of or some guidance that can help you with this experience. So I don't want you to always feel like you're on your own trying to build this side hustle or this interest for yourself or this little business on the side. I want you to think of someone that you can look to. Maybe it's a family member, an older brother, older sister. Maybe it's an older, family friend. Maybe it's a teacher in school, but someone that can actually guide you through this experience. Now, if you're someone like me and you don't grow up with people that know business, maybe now you could use social media like YouTube, TikTok, maybe Instagram, and find someone that you can follow that can teach you something like this. So I want you to write this down. Who can I follow? Who is an influencer online that I can follow that has achieved what I want for myself? Who is the influencer that I can follow who has achieved what I want for myself? So that's what I mean when it comes to finding the mentor. We don't want to just take advice of anyone. we will respectfully, you know, get feedback from people, but you need to talk to people who have achieved what you want. Cool? How we doing, Dale?
I had to unmute myself. Yeah, really good. I'm going for it. There we go.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, cool.
Scruffiest handwriting.
Nice. You have nice handwriting. All right. Then we'll go to number 4. This is really, really important. Business is cool, but number 4 is very, very important that we need to get down packed very early on in our life, which is the mindset. So to be successful business leaders, mini entrepreneurs, as kids, we need to get a ruthless, very confident mindset from the beginning. And this is a muscle that we need to train daily, because sometimes people aren't going to agree with your ideas, and that's okay. We can't expect everyone to agree with everything, but you need to be okay with believing in yourself as well, especially when things don't go to plan. So if things don't happen to plan, if people don't like what you're coming up with, you need to now work on your own self-confidence and being able to bounce back from challenges if they do come, because sometimes they will. So really important, guys, with all your ideas that you come up with, you need to stay consistent. You need to be patient and don't give up too easily. Cool? Number 5. We're going to get to number 5 now. And this is really important too. It is called the smile and the heart. You need to ensure that you just enjoy what you're actually doing as well. If it comes down to not having fun anymore and you're just hating life through this process, then I don't want you to force yourself through it. It has to be fun. It's a hobby that we can also make money from as well. But you really need to ensure that you're having a lot of fun throughout the process too. And don't be too hard on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning. We're just going to now test the waters and see if people are interested in what you do. And that's pretty much as simple as it gets. It's not meant to be too hard. Us humans complicate things. But in the beginning, I just want you to have fun and brainstorm it and just see if people are actually interested in what you want to do. And that's pretty much it. So now I guess you guys can pick my brain and we can have further conversation about it.
Wow, Lenita, that was epic. All of those things then, I got a neck ache because I was nodding all the way through thinking, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, guinea pigs, I love that. That's really cool, isn't it? How cool is that? That's amazing. And the mindset, obviously, the smile. So when you were talking about, so for me and you, is guinea pig, is that kind of like an avatar? Is that your perfect person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So someone that would be, you know, that perfect profile of someone that would be interested in what you do. So for example, if we want to do something with gaming, for example, we need to find people who are interested in gaming. So we wouldn't go to someone that is, 70 years old and we want to sell them this gaming experience because they probably won't be interested in gaming. So we need to find someone that already has the same interest. That might be, sports or art or music. We need to find people who already enjoy those things first before we try to sell them our product or experience.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense, doesn't it, guys? It makes absolute sense. There's no point in selling a gaming package to a 70-year-old person. Yeah. And when you say mentor as well, is it okay to have more than one, or what would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I would say if they are someone that's going to complement and strengthen you as a person, they're going to motivate you, they're a positive influence, I would say definitely you can have more than one mentor. You don't want to have like so many at once, but I think be strategic, maybe 2 or 3 at one time. And as long as they're a positive influence, I would say definitely they can be the mentor.
Awesome. Yeah, because there's been a bit of, so for me personally, the reason why I do, not the reason, but a reason why I do what I do is because there's a guy called Tony Robbins. You may have heard of him. So yeah, Tony Robbins is great. So I watched a video with him and it really inspired me. And there was a bit of conflict in the news last year where something happened. I don't know what it was. And it didn't shake my foundation of him. It didn't make me think, oh, he's an idiot, I don't like him. It made me think, you know what, people make mistakes, people do mess up, and that's okay. Because I didn't want to ruin my fantasy of him, if that makes sense. So, and these kids in this group are great, because we were talking a bit about bullying and talking about friends not being very nice, and all of them virtually saying, well, I'm not going to just leave them alone. I'm going to see if they need help. I'm going to see if they can work forward, and I'm going to see if they can help them. You know, and that's amazing. That's great. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. So positive role models, you can have more than one. Obviously, probably more than three, maybe a bit overwhelming and a bit like, oh, but he's saying this, but then she's saying this, but then they're saying that. What do I do? You know, what do I do? Now, this is probably, I can't even say my favorite because they're all my favorite, but this is a great one. This is vital. The mindset. First of all, we've discussed mindset. We're going to talk a little bit about that in the future. A little story, a tiny story about me. So I love my family so much dearly, and I love my brother so much too. And one day, last year, I think, at the beginning of last year, he said, oh, Dale, I'm really proud of what you're doing. I don't believe in all this mindset stuff, but I'm really proud of what you're doing. And I was like, okay. And I stopped myself from saying, but Kyle, to say that is a mindset. That is a mindset. I don't believe in this mindset stuff. Is a mindset, you know? So there could be people getting in your way. There could be people saying, let's have a look on here. Liam wants to be a fighter pilot. Liam, to be a fighter pilot, you've got to work really hard. You've got to be confident. You've got to go to university. I don't know. Actually, that's Liam's homework. So I'm still waiting for his homework. Actually, you got to do this, and this, and I think included in the fact that you've got to work on it daily. You've got to bounce back. It's got to be consistent and patient. Oh, that's amazing. And confident. You've got to definitely, and I know you were saying this as well, you've got to kind of like be really focused on what you want and ignore the chatter.
Yeah, definitely. Because I find that people love to share opinions. That's just like human nature.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going to cloud our judgment. So we need to ensure that we're having positive voices and constructive criticism, because sometimes people can just throw negativity out, but we need to be mindful of what's constructive and what's healthy and what's really unhealthy or really negative that's going to affect us personally as well. So it's really important to just be mindful of who we're letting inside our mind as well.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely perfect. And only we give permission to that, don't we?
Yeah, definitely, because there's a saying that I really love, which is when someone knocks on your door, if it's a stranger, we're not just going to let any stranger enter our house. We're not going to let any random off the street just enter our home, because that can be quite dangerous, right? That's very unhealthy, very dangerous. So think about it this way. If we're not going to let a stranger or a dangerous person enter our home, why would we let negative voices enter our head at the same time? These negative voices are knocking on our door or in our head, and we either choose to let them in, or we could say, no, we don't want to let you in. So we need to think about that as well when it comes to negative voices or negative influences. We are our own boss, so we can choose whether we want to let them into our head or not. That's basically how I put it.
I think that's really cool. We are our own boss. Absolutely.
Definitely. And I think it's just a muscle that we need to train. The earlier we start this in life, the more easier it will get. But we need to just be mindful that there's always going to be someone that's going to say something negative. We're always going to get judged. So we might as well just enjoy our life in the process, regardless.
Yeah, exactly. I was reading a book about hypnotism a while ago, and they were exploring the keys to happiness, and I think it was key number 6. I think people went on stage and were hypnotized, and they had no inhibitions. They were acting like chickens. They were doing silly dances. They were boys pretending to be women and women pretending to be boys. It was very funny. I assume it was funny. I wasn't there. And they said afterwards that they felt really happy because they weren't self-conscious. They weren't worried about what people thought. And that's really cool. And I hope these guys can remember my little thoughts on confidence, which is the opposite of self-consciousness, meaning you'll do whatever you want to do without anyone, without letting anyone worry about what your thoughts are. So I think confidence is great, because you did say confidence in the number 4. And I'll kind of throw you in, I'm just going to throw it at you, and please, Lenita, take time to think about the question. But what would you say? How would you define confidence? Oswald, how would you define? What is your confidence? Because all the kids have done their level of confidence. What would yours be?
My level of confidence, or
I know your level of confidence is way up there. We all know that, to be honest. But no, how would you define confidence if you were to define it to somebody, or say what it is?
For me, it's just, being comfortable in my own skin, being comfortable with who I am as a person, and not worrying about what other people are going to say. And this was actually very hard for me growing up. I was never a confident kid. I was confident in sports, but in terms of speaking to people, or, my grades in school, my family, etc., I always felt like I wasn't confident enough. It was only in sports that I felt like I was confident. So what really helped boost my confidence was having that outlet, having that one thing that I really loved doing, and doing that more often, because that gave me more joy. And when I was performing well, it really helped my confidence. But I think too is just learning to just be learn to love who you are as a person and accept who you are, and one thing that I love to think about as well is I don't have to fit in to feel like I'm confident or to feel like I'm successful. Does everyone know the game of Tetris? We know the game of Tetris. So we need to think about it like this. Every time we try to fit the blocks in Tetris, what happens to the blocks when we fit them into each other? Eventually, they disappear. So think about it like this with your life. When you try to fit in with everyone else, you don't actually get to stand out. You will just look like everyone else, and you'll just fit into the blocks, and eventually you won't be able to stand out. So it's literally like a game of Tetris as well. When it's better to not stand out, not fit in. And that's what's going to allow you to be a little bit more confident with yourself too down the track. And it's just a muscle you need to train daily. But I was never really confident as a kid. It really took me a while to just build that muscle in my life.
Yeah, because I think there's so many different forms of confidence. You've got confidence, you've got self-confidence, you've got self-efficacy, you've got self-esteem, you've got self-belief, self-worth. There's so many of them, all defined in my book, by the way, Raw Confidence.
I love it. Plug.
All about the 8 warrior paths. Secret, by the way, all the 8 warriors in my book, all of them are a specific confidence. But anyway, we're here for this. So yeah, self-confidence, I think, is having that ability to be comfortable in your own skin and do anything in the world. So for example, I'm not good at, or what haven't I done? Horse riding. I've tried horse riding. I'm shocking. But just because I've done it once or twice or 3 times, I'm not going to judge myself on that. And I'm going to go in there and just go for it. I think it was Ron Howard, I think he said, confidence is practice in action, meaning that you are doing something that you've never done before and you're okay with yourself doing it, which is really cool. And then you've got, I think, all-round confidence, which is how good you are in a certain thing. Because when you said that about sport, I completely resonated with that. I was confident in sport. I was always the first one to try things out, to do rock climbing. We went on a school adventure, and we had to do like this big crazy zip line and an abseil and all these things that people were like, oh no. And I was always the first one to go and do it. But if you ask me to speak on stage, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Same like me.
Yeah. And I know this is a bit kind of this is everybody, but when we've gone the school dance, you've got the boys this side of the girls, and I was always the one over here being like, Del, go and speak to the girls. Absolutely not. No. No.
That fear, yeah, that whole fear, and then you psych yourself out before it even happens. But no, that was like, public speaking was just not even it was non-negotiable for me. I just didn't even want to talk in public. But it's funny, now we're motivational speakers, but just goes to show it's a learnable skill. And if you feel like you're a little bit shy now, guys, or that confidence is not as strong, like, that's okay. You can build on this. This is where Dale and I were when we were much younger too. It's very normal if certain things scare you or you get nervous, especially when it comes to like your business ideas. You're going to be a little bit nervous in the beginning to share your ideas with people, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and the reason why we get nervous is because we actually care about it.
Exactly. And if you didn't get nervous, then I'd be a little bit concerned, because being nervous just means that we care about something. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So for me, if I did a speech, practice my speech in front of mum and dad, I wouldn't be nervous at all. Not to say that I don't care, but I wouldn't be very nervous at all. But then again, if I were to do a speech in front of like 600 people, there would be a little bit of a button around here that just goes, boom, expands. Like, you're a bit nervous. You say, yeah, I am, but I'm going to use this as fuel to help me help them.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when we can share those stories with people too, we get to actually become more confident as well, because we enjoy we enjoy knowing that we can help other people too through like those similar insecurities. But yeah, I guess we're just human. We're just human beings. So we all feel the same thing. We're all going through similar experiences. So we just need to talk about it more.
Yeah. So this is really cool. I love your journey. So you were the same as me, high school teacher. Me too. I did all rounds of teaching. So I was doing it for around about 13 years. I've always coached kids as well. I started when I was 14 years old, coaching kids. Liam, mute yourself, young man. I've got it. There you go. We're good. And then I did that journey, and there were so many times when I just wanted to stop and quit and not do this anymore, because it was so hard. Like Lenita, it was so hard. I barely made any money. I couldn't really live on what I was going through. I had to dip into my savings, and it was really scary, and it was really hard. But I persisted and I carried on. So what I was going to ask you, Lenita, is was there any time that you thought you wanted to quit? And if you did, what did you do to get around that and combat that?
Great question. Definitely. I felt like sometimes I did want to give up and quit because other people weren't agreeing with my big dream and my ideas. And in the beginning, it was hard to make consistent money. So I started to question myself as well. So there were certain things that really helped me. Number one is, am I really passionate about it? Is this really worth it? Do I really, really want this? And if the answer is yes, then you have to continue doing it. Number two is, it's not just about you, but it's about helping other people. Can this really help other people bring joy in their life? Or you can help them with their health or their creative habits, or literally even simply, as I said, bring joy in other people's life. If the answer is yes, you got to keep definitely doing it. And then number three is, will this make you happy and proud in your future life? And if it's yes, you got to keep at it and you got to keep doing it. Because if you give up too quickly, you're going to miss out on what you can achieve in the future as well. And we don't want you to give up too easily. We need you to stay patient and play the long game, because too many people give up on their goals. And I'm sure you can agree, Dale, like, you just got to be patient and stay in the game long enough, and you'll see that you'll reap the rewards.
100%. And I heard this somewhere. It wasn't me. I heard this from a wise man. He said, if you do what's easy in life, you will have a hard life. If you do what's hard in life, you will have an easier life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. It's one of my favorite quotes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. So we need to do what others won't do in order to have what they will never have in their life. Like, you need to really believe in yourself. You're never too young to be successful. You're never too young to be happy. You're never too young to make something really amazing out from your life. And remember, guys, like adults don't get this right. We don't expect you to get it right every day. We know you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. We make mistakes as human and as adults as well. So you just need to believe in yourself and really understand that you inspire us as well. Although you might seem, you know, younger than us, you inspire us every day to be better too. So yeah, just believe in yourself and just start doing that. Start acting on your dream, write it down, put it into action, and you'll see that eventually it will build, and you'll be amazed on where life will take you, you know, this time next year. And we might, you know, in a year's time have a conversation and start seeing where you guys end up in a year's time as well.
Oh my gosh. You've just inspired me. That's perfect. Everybody watching this, either now live or pre-recorded, 100%. If you've got a calendar on your phone, what I want you to do is I want you to put in a year from now, what you expect your life to look like, whether it be for your health, whether it's to do with business, whether it be to do with friends. I don't know. I don't care. I want you to do it. That'd be brilliant. Okay, that's really, really cool. It's like almost like a time machine, like a time capsule. That's really, yeah. And I don't know about you, Lenita, with your audience as well, because you've got so many fans all around the world as well. I was just going to say Australia, but all around the world, and even now here, even more in the UK. But I was going to say, I say that I want the kids to mess up, not on purpose, but I want them to mess up, and I want them to know how that feels, because failure is an option. It's important to fail. It is important to fail. And I think what's worse than failing is quitting and never even starting and not taking action. So failing is so imperative. It's crucial.
Yeah, it's one of the best lessons, and you can't get that from a book, and you can't get that from a test paper. Like, that just comes from life experience. So yeah, like, don't do it on purpose, but if you fail, learn how to bounce back. And you know, that's what successful people do. They just learn how to adapt quickly in life. And yeah, failure is one of the best lessons for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So we need to practice that every single day. And the last one you said was smile and heart. I love that one, because that, in fact, this was actually the key, I'd probably say, Lenita. This is the key that kept me going, because I was doing it for, I don't know, it's anywhere between 6 months to a year, and I was helping lots of people. That was great, it was brilliant. And then all of a sudden, people started messaging me on Instagram, or people started messaging me on Facebook, and people said, "Oh, I just want to say, Dale, that was really inspirational." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know you were watching." So yeah, I am. Oh, Dale, that was really cool. I did that and it worked. Thank you so much. Dale, I did. This is the best one. Oh, Dale, you saved my son's life, and I cried. I so cried, because it was just like, I'm not stopping now. I'm not stopping now. I can't. I'm not quitting. This is my purpose on this planet. This is what I need to do and want to do, to help as many people as I possibly can. Because I think, in fact, I know that I've got a gift for this, and I want every single kid watching this to know that they are a gift. They're not special. There's nothing special about them, and they know the secret between us, because they're a freaking miracle. Isn't that right, everybody? Yes. There's nothing special about anyone watching this, because they're miracles instead. Okay, which is far superior. And just to make sure that you use your gift. And I'm so excited to having you on and speaking with you about this, because there's so many success stories of kids. I mean, the kids know here, there's a guy called Robert Nars, I think, who created Nars Games, and he was only 14, and he made a millionaire, outsold an Angry Bird. Oh, wow. His coding did brilliant. Another guy called Mo, who's created Mo's Bows. He used to make bow ties because he loved it. People were laughing at him. Friends were taking the mick, obviously, because they don't understand. And he was making them, and he was selling them online, selling them on eBay, selling them on Etsy, selling them all over the place on the high street. And it just gets expanded. He's got himself a nice little business. I think he's a $250,000 now, and he's only 11. Oh, wow. It's crazy. There's another girl that did hair products. So I want kids to see this. And the only thing that's going to get in their way, the only person that's getting in their way, is them. So I was wondering, actually, Anita, are you the sort of person that would motivate, if your 11-year-old self saw this person, would she think, wow, Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think well, there's a couple of things. So if I was looking at myself like as an 11-year-old, definitely, but I think what's really special is if I was looking at you guys while I was 11, I would be like, these kids are so cool. They're actually, online learning about themselves, investing their time to learn off mentors, to get an advantage of everyone else in life. Like they're the type of kids that I want to hang around and I want to be friends with. So I think not just inspire myself as an 11-year-old, but I think all of you individually, as well as you, Dale, like you all would inspire me as a kid, but especially as an adult. I think you guys, by showing up today, have truly, truly inspired me as a human being too.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Oh, it's so cool, and I completely agree. So last question, if you could teleport back to your 11-year-old self, I don't know why 11 for, but if you could tell it back to your 11-year-old self, what would you say to her to inspire her to make an impact in this world?
Ooh, deep question. I think I would just say, you have plenty of time to get everything right. You have plenty of time to get everything right. You don't have to conquer the world in one day. You've got time to test things. You've got time to, come up with ideas and act on that. And you really just, be okay with just literally going with the flow and just showing who you truly are as a person. Don't feel like you have to have everything figured out by tomorrow, because the secret is, guys, I don't have everything figured out. I'm sure, Dale, you can agree. We all don't have everything figured out. Just really have fun with it and be patient. You've got plenty of time to figure everything out in your life. So that's probably one of the advice I'd give myself.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Lenita. What we're going to do is, before we all cut off, let's give a little bit of a wave, and then we can. We're back in about 1 minute. Get yourself some water, okay?
Bye. I'll see you in
Bye. Bye. Bye.